Coming up, reports and scorers from the NRL Day 2 of Round 4. Is this Tiger heading to Super League? And is this man heading for the dream comeback? Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the channel. NRL Dominance. Anthony here. Please remember to like and subscribe, and also click that notification bell if you enjoy what you've seen and if you want to continue seeing more. Also, please remember that I'm still running my Buy Me a Coffee campaign. Please, if you can, use your QR code to direct you to the right area and donate if you can. Anyway, what are we going to start with in today's show? Well, Leeds Rhinos will be our first port of call, as rumours persist that they're going after a very well paid NRL halfback, and that man keeps being persistently linked to the club through his connections with Rowan Smith. Who is that man? Well, it's West Tigers' Luke Brooks, who has caught the eye of the club. The West Tigers man is seen as an ideal replacement for one of the two players that are out of contract at the end of the 2023 season, that being Aidan Sezer and Blake Austin, who the future is yet to be determined between the club and the two players. Aidan Sezer and Blake Austin have had plenty of history with themselves, as the pair have played alongside each other at Canberra Raiders when they finished in the top 3 in the NRL during 2016. But there's a degree of uncertainty about the position of the two players with Leeds heading into 2024. Both players have been Man of Steel nominees during their time in Super League, with Warrington, Wolves and Huddersfield respectively. However, their time at Leeds has been up and down. While the two did help Leeds Rhinos get to the grand final in 2022, Aidan Sezer missed it due to concussion protocols. So Sezer is currently 5 Man of Steel points for the season, and Austin certainly nailed a match-winning drop goal against the champions, St Helens, but both have been dealt with injuries in their heavenly careers and have been a touch inconsistent. Thus, according to the Mall of Worldwide Sport, should I say, there is Rhino interest in the 28-year-old halfback Brooks. He is also coming to the end of his deal, but is yet to agree to stay at the club, despite the fact that they let former Wigan Warriors and Salford halfback Jackson Hastings join Newcastle Knights ahead of the new season. Leeds are said to be looking for a halfback who could suit the Super League style of play, and with the qualities that were seen earlier in his career, they feel that Brooks is the man to fill that void. A one-club man up to this point with West Tigers, Luke Brooks made his debut with the Tigers in 2013 and has represented them for 193 games, scoring 43 tries, kicking 20 goals and 6 drop goals along the way. He was also picked as an NRL All-Star during the 2015 season, but there has been a little bit of issues throughout his career, as Brooks had taken an option despite some offers from decent clubs during 2016. He made his mind up to stay with the West Tigers. He was also hampered by an injury towards the end of the 2016 season, but the team recovered to be 1 win away from a semi-finals berth. He also admitted that season that he hadn't played the best footy in his career. He scored 5 tries in 21 games in 2016 after coming off 10 tries in 23 games. He's still underperforming in some people's eyes. He's on a very big contract. Some are saying the 4th highest in the NRL at around about 1.4 million Australian dollars per season. Whether that's true or not, it would be speculation. But no doubt about it, with Leeds Rhinos looking for a halfback, he definitely would become one of their marquee players. It's just speculation at this point, but it's interesting with all halfbacks, all three of them, out of contract at the end of the season. Now we turn our attention to day 2 of the NRL round 4, as Friday brought us 2 games which are very exciting. Let's see who those 2 games are. After the Eels beat Penrith Panthers 17 points to 6, Friday brings us Melbourne Storm versus the West Tigers and the Dolphins versus the Broncos in what is a rivalry of Suncorp Stadium, as they're both tenants and in the Brisbane area. But we'll start with the Melbourne Storm versus West Tigers, as this is a battle of 13th versus 17th, as one of the most intriguing in the round 4 sees the Storm looking to bounce back after 2 shot losses and the West Tigers chasing their first victory of the season. After a gutsy Golden Point victory on the opening night of the season, few could have expected the Storm would stumble against the Bulldogs and the Titans, conceding 64 points across the 2 games, also lacking the defensive steel that has been their trademark in recent times. Absence of superstar 5'8" Cameron Munster with a finger injury has clearly been a factor, but coach Craig Bellamy has built his phenomenal success around the next man up culture, and won't be using the absence of his mercurial number 6 as an excuse. The Tigers, meanwhile, have entered 2023 season full of hope. After an impressive recruitment drive, but losses to the Titans, Knights and Bulldogs have seen the optimism evaporate ahead of a tough fortnight against the Storm and Broncos. There were some encouraging signs in the Belmore Sports Ground furnace on Sunday, as 3 long-range tries in the space of 4 minutes gave them a chance to run down the Bulldogs. But in the end they came up just short, leaving them 0-3 after 3 rounds, just as they were in 2022. But 0-3 for West Tigers became 0-4 as the Melbourne Storm won 24 points to 12 in this encounter. Looking at the 2 teams, Nick Meaney was the opening scorer as he kicked over a penalty on the 5th minute, which was followed up by a try by Will Warbrick on the 18th minute. Nick Meaney got a try for himself on the 23rd minute after a great break from down the right hand side. Justin Olam scored on the left edge in the 33rd minute before Cameron Munster got on the try scoring charts just before half time. Just before Justin Olam's try, Asu Kapoa went over on the 29th minute. But it was a 22 points to 6 halftime lead, with it looking only one way for this game in favour of the Melbourne Storm. It did enter that sort of phase, but in the second half, at 6 points to 2 scoreline for the West Tigers would bring some disappointment to Craig Bellamy. Happy Coruscant did get over on the 54th minute, and Adam Dewey completed his conversion rate at 2 out of 2. The only points for the Melbourne Storm was Nick Meaney penalty on the 65th minute, and that's where the 2 teams fizzled out. This leaves Melbourne Storm with 2 wins from 4, and as I said, no wins for West Tigers so far. Went to Suncorp Stadium as the Dolphins faced the Brisbane Broncos, and not even the most optimistic Dolphins fans could have envisaged their team would be as unbeaten as they have been heading into their historic first meeting with the Broncos. The Promoter's dream pits master mentor Wayne Bennett against Kevin Walters, the man he shared 5 premierships with as a coach and player at the Broncos between 1992 and 2000. The Broncos' former players Anthony Milford, Jermaine Izako, Tessai New, Brenko Lee and Cody Nikorima will be out to get one over their old club as the Dolphins look to continue their fairy tale start to their debut season. The battle in the middle will be between Jesse Bromwich and Payne Haas, which promises to be a beauty with the Broncos enforcer already churning out 210 metres per game in 2023, and the former Storm man leading by example with 29 tackles and 115 metres per match at the Dolphins. In front of a heavy Friday night crowd at home of Queensland Rugby League, this promises to be a memorable clash between two sides looking more than capable of playing in the finals in 2023. If Bennett's men can get past their crosstown rivals, they can set their sights on a clash against one of their former coach's former teams in St George Illawarra and have a very real shot in starting their debut season with 5 wins in the trot. But how did the tie go? It went in the Broncos' favour as they won 18 points to 12 in what was their away match. Jesse Halves had the only points of the first half after going in on the left edge, after being on the end of a Reece Walsh pass on the left-hand edge. Walsh entered the attacking line rarely in the game, but when he did, it was devastating for the Broncos. Half-time scoreline of 4-0, it was Selwyn Cobbo who got over for the next try, and it was for the Broncos again, after he got on the end of a bullet pass from Walsh to the right edge. This was 49 minutes and going in the way of the Broncos, but it was only 8 points to 0 as Adam Reynolds had yet to kick a conversion yet. Jared Wallace battered and bruised his way over the line on the 56th minute for the Dolphins to get them back within 2 points after Jermaine Izako scored on the 57th minute. Then Hamiso Tabuai-Fidau gave the Dolphins the lead as he was on a grubber from Anthony Milford to score right to the posts. Izako had the extras and it was 12 points to 8 in favour of the new team. But Kurt Capewell broke downfield and had enough strength and just enough pace to get by Hamiso Tabuai-Fidau as the fullback had the second rower around the shoulders while the scoring was happening in the left hand corner. Then from a Milford shallow grubber towards the in goal area from right to left was snaffled up by Katoni Staggs on his own try line, and he went the length of the field down the right touchline to score on the 77th minute for a fantastic Broncos try to put pay to any Dolphins return. Capewell's try was converted by Adam Reynolds and the win went the Broncos' way. A surprise player in their reserves team as they faced Hull FC in a defeat, which was the second part of this story. As former Super League forward Jansin Turgut defied all the odds to make his professional rugby league comeback for Bradford Bulls. Turgut, who is now 27, was told he will never play the sport again after an attempt to take his own life in Ibiza back in 2019. The life-threatening fall from a car park saw him break every bone in his face, both legs, and pelvis, hip and wrist. He recalls a conversation with those closest to him about wanting to return to the sport, where he played professionally between 2015 and 2019 for Hull and Salford Red Devils. He told Love Rugby League, "I remember having a heated debate with my stepdad because I was adamant I will go back to the top. He reminded me I had major breaks, lost 4 stone in body weight and hadn't even learned to walk yet. He was looking out for my best interest and didn't want me to be let down, thinking I could do something that I wasn't possible. Regardless of what anyone told me, I knew I had the drive, determination and resilience to make sure it happened. For myself, because rugby had been cut short, which was against my plans. For my family, having to see what I went through, almost losing everything, including my life. And for everyone else who is suffering from mental health, to see that even against the odds, you can come through the other side and beat it. Turgut, seen here in his gear during his Hull FC career, was named at starting prop for his professional return for Bradford Reserves, going on to fall to a 62 points to 12 defeat to a Hull side that included the likes of Jamie Shaw, Dan McIntosh and Kane Evans. It's another step in the right direction, with a potential of stepping up into the Bradford first team in the Championship. It felt really good to be playing at the professional level again, Turgut said, especially to test myself amongst the lads that are Super League standard and others that are full time. I haven't played for 6 or 7 months, but it felt good out there. I felt good out there. A solid performance. It was always going to be a big test, and I was unsure how long I'd be expected to play, having only trained 4 or 5 times. But I played 75 minutes in the middle at 13 and felt good. The first team coach was down watching. He told me after the game that he asked me to be taken off. He has seen enough and was pleased with my performance. I love rugby, and that's why I play it and enjoy putting my body and mind through it. The picture at the beginning of this section saw that how Turgut looks nowadays. He was getting back to the same sort of condition as you saw playing for Salford. But in comparison to what he was, it's night and day. On the left, after the accident, where you can see his face kind of disfigured, his knee, and also on the right, doing the training. But the Turkish international is looking to continue playing the sport that he loves, and he's exciting to do so. Any rugby league player will tell you how hard it is physically and mentally, from the training to missing friends and family events due to commitments, to muscle soreness for days after you've played a game. We do it for the love of the sport. Getting back to playing to the professional level has always been my goal too, even whilst laid in the hospital being told that I wouldn't be able to play again. The rest of the interview can be seen on Love Rugby League's website, in their papers or anything like that to do with Jansin Turgut. It's a good story, and that's why I brought it to you. I hope he continues that story and he's successful in the way that he does, because it will be a positive for all those that have gone through troubles. Always talk to your mates, even if that's not possible. Talk to someone if you're in that sort of situation. Love and respect to you all, but we all need help every now and again. Jansin is poster boy of that. And that's it for another episode, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like, subscribe and share this video worldwide, as well as clicking on that notification bell for any updates on new videos that may be coming your way in the near future. Please tell me in the comment section below what your thoughts are on today's stories. There's a lot to go through, but I do hope that you enjoyed them. Please give Jansin Turgut a comment on their social media platforms, as he is on his way to getting that rugby league career to the position that he wants, and also him getting over that major event is also a massive positive and could be an inspiration for many. Like I said in the piece at the end, if you need to talk to someone, seek out that help, whether it's your doctor, an anonymous phone line, going to your mums, going to your dads, going to your brothers, your sisters, your aunties, your uncles, your grandmas, granddads. Doesn't matter who it is. Start the talk. Only the start of things. Hopefully, it can get better time going on. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Please remember to share this video worldwide. And I'll end the episode as you always do by wishing you all the very best. So please stay safe, and I'll see you in the next episode.